You're standing at airport security on a normal travel day. Shoes off, bag on the belt, phone in your hand. Everything feels routine until a TSA officer suddenly pulls your bag aside. They unzip it, look inside, and quietly remove something you carry all the time. You're confused because it's legal, it's common, and it's not dangerous. It's not a liquid, not sharp, not electronic. Millions of travelers carry this exact item every single year, yet TSA takes it every day. And here's the part most people don't realize. In 2026, this is happening more than ever before. Before we go any further, let me be very clear. This video is not about fear, and it's definitely not clickbait. TSA has not suddenly banned all vitamins or supplements. What's changed is how airport security screens certain items and how strictly those rules are enforced. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what TSA actually allows in 2026, what triggers extra screening without warning, what items get taken quietly even though they're legal, and most importantly, how you can avoid all of it without stress or confusion. Stick with me till the end because the final tip is something airline crew and frequent flyers personally use and almost no regular traveler knows about it. Why this is a big deal in 2026. To understand why this matters so much in 2026, you need to know one important thing first. TSA did not suddenly decide to ban vitamins or supplements. The rules themselves haven't changed in a dramatic way. What has changed is the technology TSA now uses to screen bags. Most major airports are no longer relying on old X-ray machines. They're using advanced CT scanners that can rotate, zoom, and analyze the shape, density, and composition of every single item inside your bag. These scanners don't just see objects anymore. They try to understand what those objects are made of, and that's where the problem starts. When TSA sees something they can clearly identify, like clothes, shoes, or electronics, your bag moves on without issue. But when they see an unknown substance, especially something organic, granular, or powder-like, the system flags it automatically. At that point, it's no longer about whether the item is legal. It becomes about whether TSA can verify what it is quickly and confidently. This is why so many travelers are confused. They didn't break a rule, they didn't bring anything illegal, but their bags still get stopped. In 2026, TSA's focus is less on what you're carrying and more on how easy it is to confirm what you're carrying. If something cannot be verified through scanning and quick inspection, it becomes a red flag, even if it's completely harmless. And among all items people travel with, powders are by far the hardest to verify. Solid vitamins, the safe zone. Let's start with the easiest and safest category, solid vitamins. Pills, tablets, capsules, and gummies are fully allowed by TSA in 2026. You can carry them in your carry-on bag or pack them in checked luggage, and there is no size limit and no quantity limit. You don't need a prescription, and in most cases, you don't even need the original bottle. From a rule standpoint, solid vitamins are not a problem at all. This is important to say because a lot of people travel stressed, thinking TSA is looking to take their daily supplements. That's simply not true. If you're carrying solid vitamins in normal amounts, you are not breaking any rule. TSA is not targeting pills, and they are not automatically flagged by scanners the way liquids or powders are. However, here's the nuance most people miss. Just because something is allowed doesn't mean it's invisible. If you dump a large number of pills into an unlabeled bag, mix different supplements together, or pack them in a messy way that looks unusual on the scanner, your bag can still get pulled aside. Not for confiscation, but for manual inspection. That inspection costs time, and sometimes that's all it takes to turn a smooth security experience into a stressful one. So solid vitamins are safe, but how you pack them still matters. Clean, organized packing keeps your bag moving. And while pills rarely get taken, the next category is where travelers start losing items without even realizing why. Liquid vitamins, the 311 trap. Liquid vitamins are where many travelers accidentally break the rules, even when they think they're doing everything right. Anything that pours, drips, sprays, or has a syrup-like consistency is treated as a liquid by TSA. That includes liquid multivitamins, herbal drops, wellness shots, vitamin syrups, and concentrated supplements. It doesn't matter if it's natural, health-related, or something you take daily. If it's liquid, it follows liquid rules. In a carry-on bag, liquid vitamins must follow the TSA 311 rule. Each container must be no larger than 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters. All liquid containers must fit inside one clear quart-sized bag. If a liquid supplement is even slightly over that size, TSA does not make exceptions just because it's a vitamin. From their perspective, it's still a liquid. This is where most people get caught. Wellness shots are a big one. They look small, feel harmless, and people assume they'll slide through. Herbal syrups and tinctures are another common problem, especially when the bottle looks medical but isn't a prescription. Large liquid vitamin bottles are almost guaranteed to be stopped if they're in a carry-on. When these items get taken, travelers often feel shocked because they didn't think vitamins counted as liquids. But the rule is simple. If it's liquid and over 3.4 ounces, it cannot go through carry-on security. It either needs to be placed in checked luggage or left behind. And while liquid vitamins cause plenty of confiscations, they're still not the biggest issue travelers face in 2026. The real trouble starts with powders. Powdered supplements, the real risk. Powdered supplements are where most travelers run into trouble, especially in 2026. Protein powder, greens powder, creatine, collagen, electrolyte mixes. These are all extremely common, and yes, they are allowed by TSA. There is no rule that bans powdered supplements outright. But this is the category where enforcement feels the strictest, and that's because powders are the hardest items for security systems to analyze. In carry-on bags, TSA applies a key threshold that many people don't know about. If a powder container is larger than 12 ounces, or about 350 milliliters, it may require additional screening. That doesn't mean it's illegal. It means your bag is more likely to be stopped, opened, and inspected. And once that happens, everything depends on how quickly TSA can verify what that powder actually is. Here's what extra screening really looks like. A TSA officer may remove the container from your bag, visually inspect it, run a trace test, or ask basic questions. If the powder is clearly labeled, sealed, and looks exactly like what the label claims, it usually goes back into your bag. But if the powder is loose, unlabeled, transferred into a random container, or mixed with other substances, things change fast. This is where confiscations happen. TSA doesn't confiscate powders because they are supplements. They confiscate them because they cannot verify what the substance is within the time and tools they have at the checkpoint. When TSA says something cannot be verified, it doesn't mean they think it's dangerous. It means the scanners and tests can't confidently identify it as safe, and security rules don't allow unknown substances to pass through. Protein powder in its original tub with a clear label is usually fine, even if it triggers screening. Greens powder dumped into a Ziploc bag looks suspicious on a scanner, even if it's perfectly harmless. Creatine or collagen mixed together in one container might make sense to you, but to security, it's an unknown blend with no clear identification. In those moments, TSA officers don't have the luxury of debating intent or health benefits. If they can't verify it quickly, they deny it from going through. This is why two people can carry the same supplement and have completely different experiences. One gets waved through, the other loses it. The difference isn't the powder itself, it's how it's packed. In 2026, one simple packing choice decides everything. Carry-on versus checked bags, the smart move. At this point, the smartest decision isn't about what supplement you carry, but where you carry it. Carry-on bags move through the most intense level of screening. Every item is scanned, analyzed, and evaluated under time pressure. That's why powders, liquids, and anything unfamiliar are more likely to cause delays or confiscation in carry-on luggage. Even when items are allowed, carry-ons leave very little room for explanation. Checked bags are different. They go through screening, but not in the same rushed, passenger-facing environment. Large powders, full supplement tubs, and multiple containers rarely cause issues in checked luggage. There's no 12-ounce threshold to worry about, and items aren't being inspected while a line of passengers builds behind you. Because of that, verification is easier and confiscation is far less common. This is exactly why frequent travelers, flight crew, and people who travel every week almost always pack supplements in checked bags when they can. It's not because they're unsure about the rules. It's because they understand how the system works. They separate essentials they need during the flight from items that don't need to pass through carry-on screening. So when you see someone breeze through security while others get stopped, it's usually not luck, it's strategy. And this is the quiet choice flight crews make every time. Most common confiscation scenarios. Even with all the rules in place, many travelers still find themselves having items confiscated. And when it happens, it usually isn't punishment. It's simply a result of time pressure and how TSA verifies substances. The most common scenarios involve unlabeled powders. Travelers dump protein, collagen, or greens powder into a Ziploc bag or small container without any label. To TSA, it looks like an unknown substance, and when they can't verify it quickly, it's pulled or sometimes removed entirely. Another common issue is mixed supplements. People combine different powders into one container to save space or make it easier to carry. What seems efficient to you looks suspicious on the scanner. TSA doesn't have time to test the mixture thoroughly, so even harmless supplements can be denied passage. Oversized containers are a frequent culprit as well. A carry-on tub of protein powder or a large container of greens exceeding the 12-ounce threshold automatically triggers extra screening. Even if it's perfectly safe, TSA must stop the bag to verify it, and if verification isn't possible quickly, the item can be confiscated. Finally, buried powders in a bag cause delays and often lead to confiscation. If a bag is packed with electronics, clothes, and other items surrounding a container of powder, it may be flagged as an unknown object. TSA officers don't have the luxury to dig through your bag patiently. If the powder can't be confirmed quickly, it gets taken. The key lesson here is simple. Confiscation usually isn't about breaking rules or carrying something dangerous. It's about how TSA handles unknown items under time constraints. With careful packing and awareness, you can avoid being in these scenarios altogether. TSA-approved packing strategy. If you want to move through airport security without stress, this is the strategy that actually works. First, always keep supplements in their original packaging whenever possible. Original containers with factory labels make it easy for TSA to identify what the substance is. It removes doubt before it even starts. When powders are transferred into random bags or jars, verification becomes harder and delays become more likely. Second, make sure labels are clearly visible. Don't tape over them, don't peel them off. If TSA can read what the product is without asking questions, your bag moves faster. This sounds simple, but it makes a massive difference in real screening situations. Third, think about bag placement. Pack powders and supplements near the top of your bag, not buried under clothes or electronics. When items are easy to access, TSA can check them quickly without unpacking your entire bag. A bag that opens cleanly is far less likely to turn into a problem. Fourth, separate powders from electronics. When powders sit next to laptops, chargers, or power banks, scanners have a harder time reading the image clearly. This increases the chance of a manual inspection. Keeping powders in a different section of your bag reduces confusion on the screen. There's also a pro move that frequent travelers use. If you're carrying a large amount of powder or traveling internationally, print the ingredient list and place it inside the bag with the supplements. You may never need it, but if questions come up, it helps TSA verify the item faster. All of these small steps do one important thing. They reduce screening time massively. And in airport security, speed and clarity are often the difference between keeping your items and losing them. To wrap this up, the key truth is simple. TSA 2026 is not out to punish travelers, and vitamins or supplements are not banned. Most people lose items not because they break rules, but because they assume the rules are obvious or that everyone else gets through. Awareness and smart packing are what make the difference. Keep solids organized, follow the 3-1-1 rule for liquids, handle powders carefully, and always consider checked luggage for larger containers. With these strategies, you can move through security confidently, save time, and keep all your supplements intact. If this video helped you understand TSA rules better, hit that like button, subscribe for more practical travel advice without fear or fluff, and share your own airport experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear what's happened to you. Remember, most people lose items because they assume, not because they break rules.